Welcome to Mr. Heaton's Math Lab, and in this video we're going to learn how to multiply. Multiplication, not only being one of my favorite things, it is actually a really good trick to learn. So multiplication is the idea of adding the same number over and over again, but doing it in a way that is shorthand. So instead of adding that one number over and over again multiple times, we can use multiplication to make it quicker and easier. Now we're going to imagine that we have four groups, 1, 2, 3, 4. And each one of those groups has 3 apples in it. And so instead of adding 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, we can actually use multiplication to say 4 groups times 3 to figure out what this value is. So we'll do this the long way first. So we do have those 4 groups, 1, 2, 3, 4, with 3 apples inside of it. And so we just need to count all the apples. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 4 times 3 would be 12. Let's try the long way again. So we have 5 times 2, which means that we have 5 groups with 2 items in each group, or in our case, we have apples. So if we take a look here at the top, we have our 5 groups, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and each group has 2 apples. So if we count this completely, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that means 5 times 2 is 10. Okay, now let's try this example. So we have 6 groups with 4 items in each group. Okay, well that matches here. We got our 6 groups, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 groups, and each group has 1, 2, 3, 4 apples. So for us to figure out what 6 times 4 is, we need to count all the apples. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. So 6 times 4 is 24. Now, as you saw, we had to count 24. 24 is a really big number. That takes a lot of time. You know, what happens if we have 100 apples? So a way to figure out how to do multiplication in a simpler and easy way is actually to do something called the multiplication table. With a multiplication table, we can take something like 7 times 2. We can look at the individual rows and columns to figure out where 7 meets 2 to give us where they intersect to tell us what the answer is. So let's try some examples. Let's take a look at that 4 times 3 that we saw earlier, where we had to count the individual apples where we had 4 groups of 3 apples. So if we have 4, we can take a line down 4, we look at 3, take a line across 3, and we can see where it meets. Now I erase this so you can see it actually is 12 right here. Now we did take a look at 4 and 3, but we can do it the other way as well. So we can take a look at 3 here and 4 here, and it'll give us the same answer as 12. And we can do that for all numbers. We can take one row and one column, or one column and one row, to get the same answer. So let's do that with that 5 times 2 that we saw earlier. We can look at 5 here, we can look at 2 here, and where it intersects will tell us the value, which is 10. So let's try it the other way. So instead, we'll do 2 here, we'll do 5 here, and guess what? It comes up with the same answer. Again, it's 10. Okay, now let's take a look at that 6 times 4, and we don't really want to count all of that, so instead we can go here where 6 and 4 meet, which is this value right here, which is 24. We can put that number here. Again, we could also take a look at 4 times 6, which is 24. Let's try a couple more values. So let's take a look at 7 times 9. So we have 7 here, we have 9 here. and bring it down to where they intersect, which is here, which is 63. Okay, 7 times 9. We can do the same thing here. We can go 7 times 9, and you'll see 63 populates there too. Now what about 8 times 7? We have 8 here. We have 7 here. We can see it populates with 56. Again, we could do 7 here. We can do 8, and there's that same value again, at 56. Let's try 4 times 10. That's going to be 40. Or we can look at 4 times 10 here. Again, that is 40. Let's take a look at 5 times 5. That'll give us 25. Now what about 5 times 0? That's always going to be 0. So a little shortcut to know is that anytime you have something that you're multiplying 0 by, it will always turn out to be 0. So whether we decide to do 4 times 0, we got 4 times 0 will always be 0. And you can see that on the number line. If you have 0 here, all values will be 0. If you have 0 here, all values are 0. And you can also think of it as you have 5 boxes with nothing in them. So if you have 5, or you say you have 3, any of those boxes, and there's nothing in it, well then that means you just have nothing. If you're looking to take your math skills to the next level, check out Mr. Heaton's Math Lab. We offer a range of resources to help you succeed, from free workbooks and Common Core assessments to focused mini courses and comprehensive curriculum courses. Head over to www.mrheatonsmathlab.com to get started today.